What we think we will be when we grow up and what it actually looks like are almost always two different things. If you had told me when I graduated as a high school history teacher that I would be recruited by Apple, speaking at events like Canva Create, hosting my own podcast, or running my own business, it just would have sounded so silly. And it would have sounded silly because no one taught me this one very important thing. It's not about the job. It's about the skills that you have, the value you bring, and how you use that to solve problems and create opportunities. Hi, everyone. I'm Saba. I'm the CEO of Designing Schools, and on this channel, I help you learn the skills and mindsets that are going to give you a human advantage in an AI world. So hit subscribe for insights and strategies for how to be irreplaceable in a world with AI. Today, I'm sharing what a day looks like when I'm not at home working on all the behind the scenes things. And if you want a video on the behind the scenes, let me know in the comments.
So today is going to be a totally different kind of video, and I'm so excited to take you along with me for my day to show you behind the scenes of what I do every single day here at Designing Schools. And one of the things that is an absolute non-negotiable for me in the morning is the daily stoic. Really helps frame your day, just remind you of the bigger picture, which is really, really, really important when we are doing this type of work around change management. You know, so much of it is less. Yes, there's strategy. Yes, there's technology. Yes, there's all these different pieces, but so much of it is emotional work. And this really helps keep me grounded and focused on the big picture. And so every single day there is a different theme. And so today, April 11th, it says, if you want to learn, be humble. Throw out your conceited opinions, for it is impossible for a person to begin to learn what he thinks he already knows. And these are just the little tiny things, either quotes that I can share with you during the day. Sometimes they just stay in the back of my head. But again, it's a really great reminder, especially when things are changing as quickly as they are, to be humble and that we are always learning something new. So it says, of all the Stoics, Epictetus is the closest one to a true teacher. He had a school. He hosted classes. In fact, his wisdom is passed down to us through a student who took really good lecture notes. One of the things that frustrated him about philosophy students and has frustrated all college professors since time began is how students claim to want to be taught, but really secretly believe they already know everything. And let me tell you, this is no different from adults either. The reality is that we're all guilty of thinking we know it all, and we'd all learn more if we could set that attitude aside. As smart or successful as we may be, there is always someone who is smarter, more successful, and wiser than us. This is why I also love my online community. It really is the place where I feel like I get to learn. So again, you can see throughout this, like I'm commentating to myself, I'm thinking to myself, I'm grateful for things that I have in my life. Just a fantastic way to start a day. All right, I got lost. As smart as successful as we may be, there's always someone who is smarter, more successful, and wiser than us. Emerson put it well. Every man I meet is my master in some point, and in that I learn of him. So if you want to learn, if you want to improve your life, seeking out teachers, philosophers, and great books is a good start. But this approach will only be effective if you're humble and ready to let go of the opinions you already have. And I think this one, oh my God, so much of what you're going to see today is me really showing people how we can work a different way, take things that you have previously done in one format and use AI tools to do them a little bit differently to free your time up to focus on what matters most. One of my best friends is coming along with me today as well. He is visiting here from Canada. You're going to get to meet Armand, and you're going to get to meet some of the wonderful people I get to work with. So let's go.
So today, my amazing friend Armand, who was just appointed the head of AI for the state of New Brunswick in Canada, is joining me to see what my workshops look like, what conversations are happening, and to get some insights into what he's able to take back as he launches his own AI strategy for New Brunswick. Armand and I first got to know each other when we became Apple Distinguished Educators. So meet Armand and come with me to my first workshop, which is actually today going to be with the executive assistants at Santa Ana Unified School District. This is one of my absolute favorite groups that I work with, and twice a month I join a part of their already scheduled team meetings. So they've integrated the AI bootcamp into their team meetings so that they are collectively working on it. And I join them twice a month to share AI updates, to go over use cases that we designed together, to talk about what's working well, where we need help, and basically looking at how AI can be integrated into their entire workflow. Now, in Santa Ana Unified, their vision is that every single person is an architect of their life and learning. And so they are having conversations about how AI can help enhance work to free people's time so that they can focus on what matters most. And they're doing this not just for teaching and learning, but for everyone in the organization. Here's Jerry Almandara as a superintendent on why this matters to him.
So it is extremely important that our executive assistants begin to learn the ecosystem of artificial intelligence, because it will help make their jobs more efficient, but it will also free up their time in order to engage their respective executive. And by allowing that more human interaction allows us to not allow things to slip through the cracks.
I also really love the incredible personal use cases that come up as we have these sessions. Sharing these ideas and use cases, I always say, should be a part of an ongoing conversation inside your organization, like the first 5 minutes of every team meeting. And since summer is coming up, here is a fun one that they shared.
Upon blogs and watching blogs to see what people did and what, with families, and just kind of jotting down notes. And then I kind of started creating my own itinerary, and then I thought, well, wait a minute, I have to check GPT, just plug it in there. And then it almost became like I was trying to see if it was wrong. And again, so I wrote up the learning doing, that's how the intent of it is. So then I started, instead of writing my notes in a piece of paper to compare, I would just start to type. So it just gave me my itinerary. I had it, and then it really just, we followed it to a T, and it was on time. We were on time. It was easy. It was good.
I'm excited to learn about AI because I know that it would be a benefit for myself personally, professionally, but I want to be better support for my superintendent.
That's exactly where I'm at. I just want to be able to lift his work and be able to just support him and provide what he needs to do a better job.
Now, sometimes when I'm working with groups, we do large group meetings, and sometimes as we prep for those large group meetings, I do a lot of one-on-one sessions as well. This is actually really important because that extra time that we invest up front on making sure that we have clean data, on evaluating our criteria so that we are designing AI use cases that are grounded in our vision and our values and that has our stamp of quality approval on it is really, really, really important, and is often a really big misstep in how we use AI. And so a lot of times people's results aren't the outcomes that they are looking for. Being able to share a process out with a larger group as a result of going through that earlier work you did is then done with a much higher level of fidelity. And like I said, this is just really important to remember, because anything that has to do with an environment where tools are new means that there can be a lot of confusion around best practices, which creates fear, which creates assumptions, and it's just a negative spiral from there. So the more we can create great first experiences for people that walk them through safe, ethical, innovative practices, the more people will have clarity and confidence around how to use these tools, and the more successful our outcomes are going to be. Now, this clarity in how to use AI tools allows everyone, like I said, to feel confident and creative about designing what's next instead of operating under fear and anxiety or secrecy. So next, we're going to actually be working on a project with Lupe, and she is getting ready to introduce her teams to how to work on a very certain project. It's a little confidential, but basically being able to do this is going to save them not just hours, but days worth of time. So here's Lupe sharing what her goals are and how she plans on integrating this with AI.
I'm very excited to be using AI, especially with the community school coordinators, because it will limit the amount of time that we are working behind the screen, building reports, and doing a lot of that data entry. And we can spend a lot more time with the community, building relationships and really working at solving the problems. One of the key areas for community school strategy implementation is being able to be transparent and communicate what we're doing and how we're doing it with the community. So the use of infographics, videos, anything that makes it accessible for the community to be able to understand what we're doing and how they can help is going to be critical. And it's really cool to be able to use AI to help us with that.
Next up, we're going to do a one-on-one session with high school principal Jessica. And this is what I love so much about what is possible today. I can go from being in person to being able to do something virtually with another person. And while this might just look like I'm closing one screen, opening up another, this is actually a real skill set because each of these scenarios and each of these different engagements really requires a different workflow, and being comfortable with that workflow is really important. Having the right equipment, having the right setup, just having what I call a mobile mindset is really, really, really important if you're somebody who wants to have and enjoy that flexibility of working from your laptop, your phone, from different locations. These are all the skills that are really important to learn, that you do learn alongside the technology, but they take a little bit of time so you can really build and develop your own habits. I always share how so often we focus on these big inflection points, the internet, the iPhone, ChatGPT, and what often we neglect are the smaller inflection points along the way. Things like remote work, being able to work in hybrid scenarios, social media, just all these little things that change the ways we work, learn, and communicate. And where we see so many people struggle is when they want to take habits from one area and just substitute them into another. And I call this the substitution trap. How we work on a laptop is very different than how you do work on an iPad. And once you add AI into the mix, everything changes so much more. And so this is why in all of our workshops and in all of our sessions, we believe in taking a design thinking approach to not just AI integration, but any kind of technology integration or change that you are bringing. Design thinking is a human-centered approach, which basically means that we are keeping our users front and center. We are looking at their challenges, at their opportunities, at what currently exists for them so that we can really build and design their journey from there. So you'll notice each of these people, even though they're doing AI integration, are working on completely different aspects of their work based on what is an immediate need and priority so they can actually see real results. We are not just bringing the latest and greatest technology. We are really following the advice that I share all the time on here from Don Norman. A brilliant solution to the wrong problem is worse than no solution at all. So solve the right problem. And that's exactly what we work to do with our partners. We want to identify the immediate challenges, the immediate roadblocks that people would like to solve for in alignment with people's vision, values, and goals. And with that approach, technology is seen as an accelerator, not a detractor from existing priorities, because let's face it, everyone is just really busy and feeling overwhelmed, and AI can actually help reduce a lot of that stress and burnout. So next, we're off to our last workshop of the day to visit a team that has just purchased ChatGPT Teams for everyone, and their goal now is to start building out GPTs across the organization. This is probably one of the most common use cases because it's insanely amazing what it does for your work and your time. Building GPT use cases is one of my absolute favorite things to do, but I love Jennifer's analogy about how she thinks about building GPTs.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Meterlenko, and I am trying to build ChatGPT so that it can basically be an assistant for teachers. And I think of this as a teammate. And so just like we would really like a real life assistant in our room, that's what I want to build from this. And so I kind of see it as the best room mom that you are ever going to get.
If there's one theme across this video, it's the power of human connection. The rapport we build with people that really helps strengthens relationships that are built on trust, environments where you can encourage creativity and really inspire a shared vision for what is possible when we leverage these tools to solve our challenges, but also create the opportunities that are always sitting on our wish list that we can now bring to the forefront. There are so many things that AI tools can do, but building these relationships and being that person people enjoy learning from and working with is truly one of the most irreplaceable human qualities. These are the same strategies that we teach people inside our AI bootcamp, which includes our leadership toolkit. inside our leadership toolkit, we have 20 different facilitation methods that you can leverage to be that person inside your organization, turning meetings into workshops and really being the AI leader for others inside your organization. One of my favorite ways to unwind at the end of a day like this is by going to the gym. I absolutely love my membership with Lifetime. It's my place to go and really just sort of reflect, be grateful, and really focus on my health and wellness, which I really, you'll hear a lot as a theme of mine, is really a hope of mine that we are able to do, is really have more of that focus on ourselves, our health, our wellness, our friends, our family, all of the things that make us uniquely human in a world with AI. As always, all of the resources will be linked for you in the show notes. A little bit of a different video today, but I hope it gave you a little bit of a glimpse into what I do and what's possible for you as well.